بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
The Big Bang Theory demonstrated that in the beginning all the objects in the cosmos were of one entity and then were separated. This meant that the whole matter was created with a Big Bang out of a single point and formed the present cosmos by being separated from each other. The expansion of the cosmos is one of the most important pieces of evidence that the cosmos was created out of nothing. Although this fact was not realized by the scientific community until the 20th century, God has informed us of this fact in the Holy Quran, revealed over 1400 years ago.
وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ.
And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are its expander.
The Big Bang was clear evidence that the cosmos was created from nothing. In other words, that it was created by God. For this reason, astronomers holding on to the materialist way of thinking carried on resisting the Big Bang and upheld the idea of the infinite cosmos. The reason for this work was announced in the words of Arthur Eddington, one of the leading materialist physicists, who said, philosophically, the notion of an abrupt beginning to the present order of nature is repugnant to me. Another materialist, the well-known English astronomer Sir Fred Hoyle, was one of the leaders who were disturbed by the Big Bang theory. In the middle of the century, Hoyle put forward a theory called the steady-state theory, which was similar to the constant cosmos approach of the 19th century. The steady-state theory argued that the universe was both infinite in size and eternal in duration, with the single, clear aim of supporting the materialist way of thinking. This theory was utterly at odds with the Big Bang theory, which proposed that the cosmos had a beginning. Those who stuck up for the steady-state theory opposed the Big Bang theory for a long time, but science was going against them. In 1948, George Gamow came up with another idea regarding the Big Bang. He stated that after the formation of the cosmos by a Big Bang, a radiation excess should have existed in the cosmos left over from this explosion. Furthermore, this radiation ought to be uniformly scattered across the cosmos. This evidence, which ought to have existed, was soon to be discovered. In 1965, two researchers by the names of Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson found these waves by chance. This radiation, called the cosmic background radiation, did not seem to radiate from one source, but instead spread throughout all of space. Therefore, it was understood that this radiation remained from the earliest stages of the Big Bang. Penzias and Wilson were awarded a Nobel Prize for their finding. In 1989, NASA sent the Cosmic Background Explorer (CUBE) satellite into space to do research on cosmic background radiation. It only took 8 minutes for CUBE to prove Penzias and Wilson's calculations. The CUBE had discovered the remains of the Big Bang that happened at the beginning of the cosmos. Regarded as the greatest astronomical find ever, this discovery clearly proved the Big Bang theory. Another significant piece of evidence for the Big Bang was the amount of hydrogen and helium in space. In the researches, it was understood that the hydrogen-helium concentration in the cosmos followed the theoretical calculations of the hydrogen-helium concentration left over from the Big Bang. If the cosmos had no beginning, and if it had existed since forever, its hydrogen constituent should have already been totally consumed and converted to helium. All of this strong evidence meant that the Big Bang Theory was embraced by the scientific community. The Big Bang model was the most recent point reached by science regarding the beginning of the cosmos. Sticking up for the steady-state theory alongside Hall for years, Dennis Sayama described the last position they had reached after all the evidence for the Big Bang Theory was shown. Sayama said that he had defended the steady-state theory not because he thought it true, but because he wished that it were true. Sayama goes on to say that as evidence began to mount, he had to admit that it was futile and that the steady-state theory had to be disregarded. Professor George Abel from the University of California also accepts the eventual victory of the Big Bang Theory and says that presently available evidence demonstrates that the cosmos began billions of years ago with the Big Bang. He admits that he has no choice but to accept the Big Bang Theory. With the Big Bang's victory, the falsity of never-ending matter that made up the basis of the materialist way of thinking is cast into the rubbish heap of history. What, then, was before the Big Bang? And what was the force that brought the cosmos into being with this Big Bang when it did not exist? This question surely suggests, in Arthur Eddington's words, the philosophically unacceptable fact for the materialists, that is, the existence of a creator God. The famous atheist philosopher Antony Flew comments on the issue. Notoriously, confession is good for the soul. I will therefore begin by confessing that the statistician atheist has to be embarrassed by the contemporary cosmological consensus, for it seems that the cosmologists are providing a scientific proof that the universe had a beginning. Many scientists, who do not unthinkingly condition themselves to be atheists, have acknowledged the part of an all-powerful creator in the creation of the cosmos. This creator must be a being who has created both matter and time, yet who is separate to both. Renowned astrophysicist Hugh Ross has this to say: if time's beginning is concurrent with the beginning of the universe, as the space theorem says, then the cause of the universe must be some entity operating in a time dimension completely independent of and pre-existent to the time dimension of the cosmos. This conclusion tells us that God is not the universe itself, nor is God contained within the universe. Yes, matter and time are created by the all-powerful Creator, who is separate to all these ideas. This Creator is God, who is the Lord of the heavens and the earth.
بديع السماوات والأرض أنى يكون له ولد ولم تكن له صاحبة وخلق كل شيء وهو بكل شيء عليم.
He is originator of the heavens and the earth. How could he have a son when he does not have a companion? And he created all things. And he is of all things knowing.